Astrophel and Stella by Sir Philip Sidney. Poet's biography. Sir Philip Sidney, 1554 to 1586, was an English poet, courtier, and soldier. He is one of the most prominent figures of the Elizabethan era and is known for his contributions to English literature, particularly for his sonnet sequence Astrophel and Stella, which is considered one of the first major works of the English Renaissance. Sidney was well educated, attending Oxford and Cambridge, and was deeply influenced by classical literature. His works reflect his refined style and mastery of poetic forms. He died young at the age of 31, from injuries sustained in battle, leaving behind a legacy as a quintessential Renaissance man. General meaning and theme. This sonnet is a conversation between the speaker, Astrophel, and the moon. Astrophel projects his emotions onto the moon, seeing it as a fellow sufferer of unrequited love. Through a series of rhetorical questions, he reflects on the nature of love, highlighting its challenges, vanity, and pain. The speaker laments that love is often ungrateful, superficial, and unreciprocated, both on earth and in the heavens. Themes. 1. Unrequited love. The speaker's sorrow stems from the pain of loving someone who does not return his affection. 2. Reflection and projection. The moon becomes a mirror for the speaker's inner turmoil and feelings about love. 3. Beauty and vanity. The poem critiques the superficiality of love and the pride of those who are loved but do not love in return. 4. Melancholy and longing. The speaker expresses sadness and yearning, which are central to the tone of the poem. 5. Human and cosmic connection. By addressing the moon, Sidney links human experiences of love and rejection with the vastness of the universe. With how sad steps, O moon, thou climbs the skies, how silently, and with how wan a face. What may it be that even in heavenly place that busy archer his sharp arrows tries? Sure, if that long with love-acquainted eyes can judge of love, thou feelest a lover's case. I read it in thy looks. Thy languished grace to me that feel the like, thy state descries. Then, even of fellowship, O moon, tell me, is constant love deemed there but want of wit? Are beauties there as proud as here they be? Do they above love to be loved, and yet those lovers scorn whom that love doth possess? Do they call virtue there ungratefulness? Detailed meaning. With how sad steps, O moon, thou climbs the skies. The poet uses personification to make the moon alive and act like the moon has the real feeling. He portrayed to the moon that the moon are sad like him because it climbs to the sky with sad steps, sorrowful movements. How silently, and with how wan a face. Moreover, the moon take it silently. It is up to the sky with pale face as the moon be. We can see that pale face also mean weakness symbol, and it can reflect to the poet feelings that exhaust with love. What? May it be that even in heavenly place, the speaker wonders if the moon's sadness is a sign that even in the heavens, a place of perfection and beauty, there is pain or suffering. That busy archer his sharp arrows tries. Xerenia, the busy archer, is Cupid, the god of love. The speaker wonders if even the moon is affected by Cupid's arrows, implying that love's pain is universal, even in the heaven. Sure, if that long with love-acquainted eyes. The speaker portrays that, if eyes, like his own, that are experienced with love's pains can judge, the moon must also be feeling something like love's suffering. Love-acquainted eyes refer to eyes that have long known the pain of love, suggesting that the speaker himself is familiar with these feelings. Can judge of love, thou feelest a lover's case. The speaker is saying that, based on his own experience, he judges that the moon must be experiencing something similar to the suffering of a lover. He believes the moon is emotionally affected by love's pain. I read it in thy looks, thy languished grace. The speaker interprets the moon's languished grace, a graceful but weakened. He believes the moon's physical appearance reflects emotional suffering like his own. To me, that feel the like, thy state descries. The speaker identifies with the moon, recognizing the same sorrowful that he himself is experiencing. He reads the moon's melancholy as a reflection of his own emotional state and shares connection between them. Then, Evan a fellowship, O moon, tell me. The speaker appeals to the moon as if it were a sympathetic. He seeks answers from the moon, as if it understands about the nature of love. Is constant love deemed there but want of wit? The speaker questions whether constant love is viewed as foolishness, want of wit, in the heaven. He wonders if the moon and those in the heavens consider love to be something foolish, perhaps because it causes pain and suffering. Are beauties there as proud as here they be? The speaker asks if the beauties in heaven are as proud and unattainable as those on earth. He reflects on the way beauty can cause suffering in human life, specifically the pride of beautiful people who may be indifferent or cruel to those who love them. Do they above love to be loved, and yet those lovers scorn whom that love doth possess? The speaker wonders if those who are loved in the heavens also desire to be loved, but still scorn those who love them. This question reflects the frustration of unrequited love, implying that beauty or love may involve a cruel paradox. Do they call virtue there ungratefulness? The speaker wonders whether those in the heavens also consider virtue, goodness or moral integrity, to be a form of ungratefulness, just as sometimes virtuous love on earth is unreciprocated or ignored. It suggests the idea that virtue can sometimes be misunderstood or devalued, just as love can be. Poet's intention. The poet feels sad and disappointed in love, particularly in unrequited love. These feelings are reflected through the comparison to the moon, which appears sorrowful. For example, in the line, I read it in thy looks, thy languished grace, to me that feel the like, thy state descries. This is akin to the sense of weariness in his own heart. The poet composed this poem for 3 reasons. 1. Conveys sadness and disappointment in love. The poet intends to convey the sadness and disappointment in love through this poem. For example, in the line, I read it in thy looks, thy languished grace, to me that feel the like, thy state descries. Both of these lines show that the poet connects his sorrow with the moon. 2. The poem raises questions about the nature of love. It reflects the poet's doubt about people's behavior toward love. For example, in the line, is constant love deemed there but want of wit? And, are beauties there as proud as here they be? 3. The poem reflects a connection with nature. The poet compares the moon to a companion who understands his feelings. For example, in the line, then even a fellowship, O moon, tell me. Group reflection. We don't appreciate this poem because it was written during the Renaissance period, which uses ancient language which makes it difficult to understand. The poem is too sad. And this poem uses symbols to make comparisons, making the poem feel complicated. For example, in the line, with how sad steps, O moon, thou climbst the skies. The poet uses archaic language, which makes us feel that it is difficult to understand. For example, in the line, how silently and with how wan a face. This line expresses sorrow, making us feel that it is too sad and we don't like this melancholy tone. For example, in the line, I read it in thy looks, thy languished grace, to me that feel the like, thy state descries. Both of these lines use the moon as a metaphorical symbol for feelings, which makes us feel that the poem is too complex. Responding to exercises. Activity 1. Answer the following question 1. To whom does the poet speak to? Answer. The poet speaks to the moon at night. We can see in line 1 and line 9 with the word, O moon. The speaker uses personification to make the moon alive and ask it about love as it is the person. 2. How does the poet know that the moon is broken-hearted? Answer. He know with the moon appearance, sad and silent steps to the sky with pale face in line 1 and 2 that said, with how sad steps, O moon, thou climbst the skies? Line 1. How silently and with how wan a face. Line 2. And he describes it may be shotted by Cupid's arrow because Cupid is up there like the moon. The arrow make its lovesick as same as the poet in line 3 to 4. What may it be that even in heavenly place, That busy archer his sharp arrows tries? And in line 7, I read it in thy looks. Thy languished grace shows the poet knows how the moon be because he can read it. 3. Why is the poet so sad? Answer, he is lovesick. From line 11, are beauties there as proud as here they be? We can conclude that the woman he loved, Stella, refused him. It's like she proud of herself, telling him that he is ungrateful for her or not appropriate with her. So he asked the moon the women up there are proud like the women down here or not. He also asked the moon about women related to his experience. The women up there like to be loved and scorn the lovers who love them like women on earth, don't they? Do they above love to be loved, and yet, line 12, those lovers scorn whom that love doth possess? Line 13. 4. What is the tone of the poem? Answer. The tone of the poem is sad, thoughtful, and frustrated, as the speaker reflects on his emotional pain while seeking meaning in the experience of love. 5. The poem ends with a series of repeated questions. What is the purpose of these questions? Answer. To express his emotion. The questions reflect the speaker's inner confusion by asking, is constant love deemed there but want of wit? Line 10. The speaker is not only seeking answers but also expressing his frustration with the nature of love and the emotional pain it causes. The repetition of questions emphasizes the depth of his doubt and longing for clarity or understanding. To ask philosophical questions. By addressing the moon and the heavenly place, the speaker elevates his personal experience of unrequited love to a universal contemplation. The questions hint that the nature of love may be harsh and unyielding, whether on earth or in the heavens. As the example in line 11, are beauties there as proud as here they be? To have rhetorical questions, the repeated questions are used to engage the reader and build a sense of expectation. The poet do not write the answers of the questions to allows the reader imagine answer by themselves, which creates a tension in the poem. For example, in line 14, last line, do they call virtue there ungratefulness?